Hi everyone, this is Ben from Wild American Off-Road. Today I'm going to talk about our center console tray that fits into the 99 to 05 F250 Super Duty style trucks and the Ford Excursions. So essentially this is what our kit is this 6061 aluminum tray. We have created this to make the center console tray more useful. So for those of you that have those trucks and still have this tray floating around, what it is, it's an old CD tray. Everybody knows CD trays are pretty well useless now. This tray, I know for a lot of people, just gets taken out and thrown away. But you actually can use this and turn it into something useful. And in this video, I really want to show you how to turn this CD tray into, kind of this is basically we cut some things off and clean it up a little bit. And then our aluminum insert or aluminum tray slides over and bolts on and kind of turns that into a, a little tray to store stuff in your center console. So along with the main part of this tray, we also include a little insert with some two-sided tape that replaces the coin holder that goes in here, and that slides in there like that with the two-sided tape. So our kit, right, the full kit is the tray, the coin holder insert. We do keep a little anti-rattle pad that we make that we throw in the bottom and just quiets things down a little bit, and then some black stainless hardware. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do with this tray to make it usable to fit our product. Now, it's worth noting that we do not include this tray. This is not part of our kit. This is an OEM piece that came with the truck when it was new. Older trucks, right? If you're not the original owner, or maybe you've thrown this away yourself, you can still find these in junkyards. Pretty easy finding them on eBay, relatively cheap too. So essentially what we're going to do, we're going to take these two little nubs out, and that allows that insert to slide down into the bottom here. And then we're going to slice this rib off of here all the way down into this groove, and that allows our tray to tuck up in there. And then obviously we're going to cut this CD portion off. So the best way that we found to do that is with a combination of a couple tools, right? First thing you need is a razor knife. Put a sharp blade in it. Blades are cheap. A ruler, and preferably a silver Sharpie. And then my preference in a cutting tool is just an oscillating tool with a wood style blade. But standard Dremel with a cutoff tool works as well, cutoff attachment. So kind of change angles here a little bit, and we'll walk through where to mark this, where to cut it, and kind of go from there. All right, so back here working with this tray, the first thing we are going to do is cut this off. And when you're cutting this off, make sure you cut it off down into this groove here. We need this whole groove cleared out to slide our tray in. So again, easiest way to do that, sharp razor knife, fresh blade. This plastic cuts pretty easy, so if you just kind of tuck that in there, you can kind of see that peeling away. We don't really need this part anyway, so what I'm going to do here is just put a slice in it up here, kind of fold that part out of the way a little bit. Again, just kind of work it around till you can get all that cut off. So there that is. I like to make a little slice right here. Just kind of work it off in pieces. Alright, so the main part of it's gone, and we'll make a couple slices down in here. And there, that part is gone. So next, what we need to do is make some marks on where to cut. So essentially what we're going to do here, take a ruler, lay it across here, and you've got these two little ribs on either side here. Run it up to the bottom of that rib, So you don't want to cut this all the way off because that's actually where our bolts go. So run that up to this ridge right here, and it's straight across, and take your silver Sharpie, draw a nice straight line, flip it over to the other side and do the same thing. And again, you want to kind of have a nice edge here because you can kind of see from the inside where that will come into part. You'll see that a little bit. So from there, it gets a little tricky here. So what you need to do is find something to be able to connect the two lines, the two corners that you drew on the sides. So we, lay that straight edge across there like that. Connect your corners, and same thing in the back. So corners, your marks are on the side, lay that straight edge across there and connect those two corners. Okay, so then what we've got is the tray with silver cut mark all the way around. And we'll just, one thing I encourage everyone to do with these is do a couple practice cuts. So we'll plug our tools in here real quick. So you got all this on the bottom here that's going to get cut off. Again, I encourage just, draw a straight line, practice on all this. This is all going to go in the trash. Draw a couple lines, figure out how your cuts are going to go, and figure out what cut you want, what tool you want. Again, a Dremel with a wood, Dremel Multi-Max, any oscillating tool with a wood style blade is what I prefer. We're going to go ahead and use our oscillating tool and run around our marks, and then we'll kind of go from there. And we'll come back and kind of talk about how to finish this up, drill some holes, and cut these little nubs out on the coin tray side. All right, and just like that, that CD tray is junk, and we are ready to clean this up a little bit more. We do this at our shop. A lot of times we'll just take it back to our big belt sander and just touch that bottom flange there to our belt sander. It's a way, not everybody has a belt sander, just a palm sander, heck, even some sandpaper. If your cuts are nice and straight, this one didn't turn out bad at all. Palm sander will clean this up, and then at the end I like to take just a piece of sandpaper in my hands and kind of smooth the corners out. But really simple process, right? It's not as complicated as it seems. Before we get to cleaning those up though, we'll just address these two little prongs here, these little nubs that hold that coin tray in. We don't need those. Back to your sharp razor blade. Just lay that flat on something and kind of work those straight down. Again, pretty easy to do. Soft plastic, it's not hard to work with. Sometimes you need a pair of pliers to pop these off. We also use our rotator, our Dremel assembly to kind of pop those off. So these ones I'm just going to bend back and forth a couple times. Sometimes they'll work free, sometimes they won't. That one's being stubborn and not. Make a little cut. Okay, that one's gone. Same thing on this one. Sliced on the edge. Work it back and forth. Slide that down. Yep, it's going to come free. And that one's free. And you got a little, little ridges left down in here, and you don't have to be super precise when you clean these up. Something to kind of get rid of that little rough section. I'll probably put a little sanding pad on this guy, or just something to clean those up. So with that, let's go ahead and we'll get a palm sander and sand this edge out, and we'll be about ready to put the tray onto this part. Alrighty, we're just going to take a standard palm sander here. Orbital, and we're just going to clean this up a little bit. I believe this is 120 grit. That'll work pretty well for this. You shouldn't need a lot, right? Just take your time when you're cut. Pay attention to getting a nice straight line, and you don't need a lot of cleanup on it. So that razor blade out of the way. We're just going to sand these edges out real quick, make sure everything's smooth. It'll knock off the little bit of plastic that's left there from the cut. Alright, so now that we're done with the palm sander and kind of cleaning things up, I always like to take a piece of 220, something a little higher grit, and just kind of round the corners over. Personal preference, I just like to blow it off a little bit. And we're pretty much ready to throw this aluminum tray on. Let's brush off some dust here. Alright, so really simple. With your silver Sharpie, we're going to mark some bolt holes, but this is just going to kind of slip down. The sides are going to slip into these two grooves here. It's going to slide into those two grooves, and then we've got to mark 8 holes to drill for our hardware that's included. So again, slide it in there, kind of press it down in, hold it in place, take your silver Sharpie. Again, make sure it's holding flat. You know, might even want to just set it down like that. Make you a couple little silver marks. Kind of locate your holes pretty well. Just make sure it's sitting flush in the plastic tray. And then up here you've got in this little spot right here. Okay, so now we should have 8 silver holes. Okay, I know some of you are going to go straight for the finishing bit. I personally will always drill a pilot hole. So I'm going to use a small little drill bit here and start some pilot holes. And right there's all of our holes that need drilled. And just hold it flat and drill some holes. Alright, so our holes in this tray are drilled to 11/64, I believe. Let me double check. So yes, our holes are drilled to 11/64 to fit our hardware. Don't be afraid to go a little oversized on the plastic, right? It gives you a little bit of adjustability, and again, we're not talking about, it's never going to hold a lot of weight, and I'm sure the 8 fasteners in there are plenty to hold it in. So we're going to go with a 3/16 bit to drill those pilot holes out. All right, there you go. There's our sized holes ready to go. Go ahead and show you how to clean these up real quick, and then we're kind of ready to put it all together, and that goes pretty quick. All right, so in standard fashion, right, I can't find the tool for the Dremel that I normally use to clean these up, but I know a lot of you guys don't have access to one of these, but some of you do. A carbide bit on a die grinder works super well. So again, we're just going to clean that up and kind of flatten it out a little bit, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, not a good idea. All right, so again, these don't have to be pretty down in here. That's going to get covered up. It just needs to be flat across the bottom. All right, so we'll start with the bolting the tray up. This one's going out to a customer, so I will show you here. I probably won't actually tighten it up. In the bag that's included with this tray, you will find 8 of our fasteners. Really easy way to do this, so I guess you could do it both ways, but I like to run the Allen head through the plastic side first. It goes through, and that way that's what's on the inside. That's what you see when you stick your hand down in there, right? So really simple to go around, put all your bolts in. All right, so once you get those all started with your hand, go back around and tighten them up with your Allen wrench and your socket or wrench that fits these. So the last part of this is right we go ahead and apply these thin strips of 3M two-sided tape, peel that red backing off, and lay that down in there, stick it tight, and then you've got another great little useful storage cubby there. All right, there we go. There is our 99 to 05 Super Duty and Excursion center console tray kit. Again, we do not include this black plastic piece. That is an OEM piece that you can find on eBay or a junkyard if it's not in your truck. So this is on our website. Check it out. If you have some questions, call us. Hopefully this video helps out for those of you that have some questions on how to install it and how to get rid of the CD tray, how to cut this black OEM piece. So again, not super difficult. Again, if you have some problems, give us a call. Check us out on our website. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram.